Coronavirus vaccines may not. This just popped up at the top of the Washington Post. I just wanted to flag this for you. And, you know, it gets into this question of the CDC and, you know, should the CDC be promoting this new mask rule? The headline is coronavirus vaccines may not work in some people. It's because of their underlying conditions. Early research shows 15 to 80% of people with certain medical conditions, such as specific blood cancers or organ transplants, are generating few antibodies from receiving coronavirus vaccines. So they tell the story of Maria Hoffman. She is 39. She's fully vaccinated. She wants to rejoin the world, but she had a kidney transplant. And so she's on immunosuppressed drugs. And it turns out that even though she's fully vaccinated, she didn't produce any antibodies because she's on these drugs that suppress her immune system, which means that if she gets near some mask hole, so, you know, one of these COVID deniers, one of these Trump followers who is refusing to wear a mask and is carrying an infection that they may not even know that they have, she can get COVID and she could die. And she's not alone. She's one of, you know, many millions of Americans. I'm thinking the CDC is just moving a little too fast on this. I really do. And I think that, you know, this decision to say, oh, it's all good, you know, take off your mask, go out there in the world. It's kind of predicated on the assumption, I mean, they're not saying this out loud, but you have to imagine that this is really what they're thinking, is that, well, you know, most people who are vaccinated are probably going to end up with a COVID infection because, you know, 2/3 of the country is not fully vaccinated. And so if you walk into a store, odds are you're going to inhale the virus and you're going to end up with COVID, but you'll never know it because you're vaccinated and therefore you're going to be asymptomatic, or at the very worst, you're going to feel like you had a cold for a couple of days. You know, a little sore throat, something like that. And so, I mean, this is kind of the assumptions. And so therefore, hey, what the heck? We don't need no stinking masks. Well, you know, there are a number of people for whom this will be a crisis. And I am just concerned. I think they have not, I think that, you know, they're saying, you know, Biden said, let the CDC run independent of me, of politics. Whereas Trump said the CDC has to say whatever I want them to say. And he totally corrupted the CDC and had them lying through their teeth and coming up with reports that justified pushing people back into meatpacking plants and all kinds of, I mean, just insane stuff that happened at the CDC during the Trump administration. I think Biden went too far in the other direction. I think he should have told them that anything that has to do with something that is so large, that affects so much of America as mask recommendations for the whole country during a pandemic, should at the very least be run past the White House before they're publicly announced. And that's, I mean, the CDC told the White House what was coming, but then they made the announcement and the White House was like, I don't know. My personal opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Time will tell, right? Time will tell.